What is your greatest regret?
Um, Man, dog, that's kind of personal.
You know how I found your channel?
How?
I watched the video, or we read an article about a man who does 64 burpees in 4 minutes, 20 seconds each set, eight of them, 10 second in
Right,
between, and then he did this for 5 months. He got super fit. I,
right,
I was like, yo, that's easy. I could do that. So I tried it, and I got less than a minute the first day. So I've been progressively getting better. But then I'm looking up how to do burpees better, and I ran into your video, one of
right.
them. I'm like, okay, this, but you do them so different. You did
Yeah,
the freaking prison style burpee, and I was like, yo, this dude is adding mad extra stuff for no reason.
right,
Like you do the
right.
kicks and stuff, and I was like, yo, this is amazing. So I started watching all your videos, and I was like, damn, this is amazing. This guy, he makes these workouts look so easy. And
Yeah, I
now,
appreciate that. Some people probably would disagree on my style on how I do them. I learned them though. The way I learned and the way I was taught was through when I did my time in prison. That's how I learned my way of doing them. Uh, Again, they're different. They're not for everybody. I see your standard burpee, but again, it helps me, and it's just the way I've learned and been taught, and I've never really had no issue, and I feel like it helps me with my stamina and
yeah.
endurance, all that, man.
Oh yeah, you got crazy stamina, bro. I seen these videos. I was like, wow, this guy, you doing 1,000 burpees?
Yeah, man. It's crazy. The stuff like there will be times we'll be going just for out like a good hour or two nonstop, and it's not even like it will be to the point where I'm in my mind now, and I'm just by myself, and it's like, man, just keep going. It's crazy, man. Especially being in a prison cell all by yourself, sweating, drenching, like it's just a whole nother. I don't know how to
It's a whole
explain it.
nother world.
Mindset.
You
Yeah,
get
man.
get into like a zone.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
so would you say that when you're in prison, right? Because I see outside of prison, everyone's focusing like they say to focus on something and to be better and make better decisions, you need to meditate. Would you say that maybe being in jail, kind of like meditation because you're with yourself?
Honestly, that's a very good way to put it. And I think, yeah, for me, uh, if you want to put it that way, yeah, meditating, because that's all we got time to think. But not everybody's in there trying to better themselves or they're thinking that way. At the end of the day, I think it's just up to the individual of how bad do they want change, how bad do they want to educate, learn. But definitely for me, yeah, I need it. It made me really wake up and like, do you want to keep doing this for the rest of your life?
The first day you were in jail, right? So I don't. How old were you when you went to jail?
Well, it's a jail, it's prison though, right? Jail is county, right? Prison is something different.
Uh, you got your okay. I started when I was 12 years old in juvenile hall, and you got camps. Uh, the county jails, it's not exactly prison, but it is an institution. If you get catch a case, you get your time, and if it's serious time, usually they'll send you up, which is prison, and in our country. So I mean, it's county jail. And then if you're doing a long period of time, they're gonna send you to prison.
You were in
So
jail, right?
yeah, I've unfortunately I've been in and out since I was 12 years old. Juvenile hall as a juvenile, camps, and I ended up hitting county jail and then to
Yeah.
prison.
These in and outs, were they long time or short times?
As a juvenile, little 3 months,
Yeah.
4 months, 6 months,
Okay.
in and out. But as far as like as an adult hitting the county jail and prison, I did about 3 years for one case. So
That is that the case where you did for the stabbings?
correct.
It was one person you stabbed, right?
Yeah, I signed a guilty plea deal because I take full responsibility for my actions, and
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have to do that night,
Yeah.
and and it was 4.5 years. I signed a guilty plea deal, and I only served 3 years of that.
I was watching a video where you talked about it, and you said it was someone in your own home. So was this a friend?
It was a coworker. It was a
Oh,
coworker at the time. Um, you know, things
heated
got a
up.
little rocky that night, yeah, and things escalated quick.
Yeah.
And I in a way that night I did feel disrespected. But then again, I brought him into my home. So, I mean, either
Yeah.
way you look at it, that night didn't go too well for the both of us.
Right. And it's such a big part of your life because it led to going to jail, and then it led to you becoming who you are today. But then you think back, right? And you think, what was the debate about? Like, why did we get angry? Do you even remember why you were angry?
I think that night he was just trying to like he kept talking about fighting or something. That's what I remember that night. Like fighting, like he tried kept like trying to like pump me up or something. I
Right.
don't know what it was, man. And for me as a person, I'm not really I've calmed down a lot,
Yeah.
but at that time like I was rowdy, like I won't back down. In other words, and so we did our thing and we went downstairs and handled business or whatever, and uh, I don't know why I ended up, pulling out a knife and
Yeah.
getting him a few times in the chest or whatever.
You got an adrenaline rush.
Pretty much. And people ask why use a knife in a fist fight? Why? Why did you? See, where I come from California, Southern California, the way we adapt to our environment and the way we grow up and learn is sometimes it's not always about fighting. Like if we run into an enemy, we're trying to kill him with any means necessary. That's the way you know what I'm saying?
You're hardwired.
Exactly. And that at that time, that's trying to,
That's your mentality.
kill them. You know what I mean? And that's any means necessary. Whether it was my fist, a bat, a pin.
It's like an animal instinct, basically. You know.
Exactly, man. And I don't think that way no more. Because I feel this is like I'm very grateful for the second opportunity. I'm glad that guy didn't die, and
Yeah.
I wish him the best, and he did tell me. I did, he pointed me out, snitched, whatever. It is what it is, though, man. And I'm not mad at him.
Have you talked to him after this?
No, I've seen him though.
And what does he do? Like the when he looks at you, he says, "Hi, Moses." What does he do?
Yeah,
No,
just
Nothing.
looks away. I
I
mean,
mean,
but
because
what
I'm
you said earlier, though, I think is very critical of look where I'm at today, and
yes,
I feel it's a blessing, man. And I didn't I feel everything happens for a reason, and
yes,
I'm saving lives now, man. I get messages every
yeah.
day, saying that I inspire this and that, and I I feel it's like my purpose now. So
Let me tell you something, Moses. Not only are you saving lives and helping people, but you may not know this, but in saving all these people and helping all these people that you see on YouTube, you're helping and saving yourself. You gave yourself
amen.
purpose. You
it's
know
true.
that. This is what you're doing. You need to do this. This is what you were meant to do.
It keeps you going.
It keeps you going, it gives you purpose.
Hey, I agree with you 1,000%, man, and I take it very serious, and you're very right because that's what it's doing for me also.
Hmm.
I tell that to all. I call them the YouTube family. They're like family, and I tell them like it's not me just helping you. You guys help me out also
Yeah.
to stay balanced, to keep going on the right track. So yeah, man.
Now, I like understanding the mind, the thought process, even the feeling of people when they're going through stuff, right? So after this whole thing happened, okay, you go to court, right? Like sometime
Right.
after, when the judge is in front of you and he says the sentence, how do you feel? Like, what's the feeling inside? Like, what are you scared, angry, sad?
Hey, no one's ever asked me that, man, and that's a really good question. And I remember that day till now. That day, I'm gonna keep it 100 and keep it real. A little bit of everything.
Yeah,
Angry, nervous, maybe even a little bit of scared.
yeah,
All of that. Sad.
Of
because
course.
I'm out to be with my kids. I was thinking, man, like I'm gonna be gone for like it's my first time as you know doing time as an adult, and
Yeah.
I know I was already setting in my mind that I'm going to prison, but the only question was for how long, you
Yeah,
know,
and when
and
they say it, that makes it definite. And even the words that the judge says, when he finishes that guilty, blah, 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 that must have hit you like a knife,
It's like a slow
yeah,
motion.
man,
right?
yeah, man. Hey, you're right. Slow motion. It was just like my heart. You could just hear. I
Boom.
can feel and hear my heart, boom, boom. My
Damn.
heart beating.
That
It's
is
crazy, man.
insane. Now, after that, right? Soon after, I'm sure you go to jail. And then what do you think of the first night? Do you even sleep?
I could tell you this: the first night, like when I did that, and they took me to the jail that night. I remember I was sitting there like in a holding cell with some other guys, right?
Okay.
And I was sitting there and I didn't know what was going on. And I remember the guys had asked me like, "What are you in here for?" I told them I stabbed some dude, and they asked me, "Did he die?" And that's when I looked at them and I thought, like, "Dang, I don't know if he's alive or dead."
Damn.
That kind of hit me like, man, I could be in. This can be it,
Yeah.
you know. And that's one of the that's like my first same night. Um, that's something very important that I'll always remember that, man. That feeling like, damn, I don't know if he's alive or dead, man.
And that's what you thought of the whole night?
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah,
Yeah. Do you see the
yeah. You
difference?
know, and and I even called home like, hey, well, like, what's going on? I didn't know what was going on, man. And I heard he got airlifted and he was like that close to dying.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
If I would have got him a little more, you know, when
Yeah,
I
yeah.
stabbed him, I wouldn't have made it.
Do you see the difference with between people in prison that are facing life and or facing like 10 years or minimum? Is there a difference in like in the mentality,
In the
how they
attitude,
think?
yeah. It's a good question.
Um, for me, I was around some shout out to the homies I was with. Yeah, definitely. I definitely see. I'm gonna be honest. I would see like sadness,
Oh yeah? In who?
like just tiredness, like just they're tired of it. I can see them
In everyone?
both older and because hey, I'm not trying to brag on them, but I was in there with some killers.
Yeah.
Some of the homies, shout out to them, and they're doing life. They're in there for murder. But more of like I would see in them like just they're tired of it. The
Damn.
same shit each and every single day. And they would tell me too, like some of the older cats would be like, hey youngster, do something with yourself. Don't come back. You know, and some of them are in there trying to better themselves, taking college courses, etc. Some are not giving an F. They're in there still doing their thing.
Yeah.
Uh, they feel like they have nothing to lose, so F it. You know, and again, it just goes back to the individual.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and
So there's like a sadness undertone, basically.
yeah, man, they were not trying to show it because if you show it, it's considered weakness.
Yeah.
But you know, you learn. For me personally, you observe, and that's key in there. You observe, you watch everybody's body language,
Yeah.
how they talk, their moods. You learn all that, you know, and I would definitely see that and read that.
So when is it from the time you go in, from that time, when is the next time, when's the first time you actually woke up in the morning where like, oh man, I feel really well rested. Damn, I slept so good last night. Like, how long before you say that? I'm just wondering.
In there, in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Like how long does it take before like what, like a week after you're like, damn, I slept really good last night.
Or
Man, this
is
has
it
been the
always like
first
one
time.
eye open?
Nah, man, I would have to say probably when I hit prison, and I was in the county jail for at least 7, 8 months. So throughout the whole 7, 8 months, I didn't get no good because you're like for me, I'm always at that time. I'm on that war mentality. I'm trying to survive. I'm sleeping one eye open, one eye closed, because all that's all it takes, you know. And
Yeah.
you got to stay ready. And I always share that with the people I talk to. Just stay ready no matter what. Always be aware of your surroundings,
Oh man.
because you never know. But
Perfect.
to
That.
answer your question, probably not until I hit prison. Um, and that took a while, you
Damn.
know. And but even in prison, I wasn't 100% comfortable. You know, it's fucked up, but true
Yeah.
for me. So
In the
yeah,
movies, like when you compare prison, how they show prison in the movies, how do you when you watch a movie like that, how do you think they get it in the movies?
Like, how accurate is it?
Yeah, how accurate is it?
um, some of it's true, but not all of it.
What's
Not
not
all of it.
true?
It depends where you are. All prisons are different. I mean, they may not be like completely, but there's little things, little perks everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Um, with politics, which I can't speak too much on. Um, the COs, like the races, like your color, all that comes into play, and it depends where you're at, which
Damn.
prison. To answer your question, man, like for one, would be like probably the rapings. Like where I was at, there wasn't not too many like people getting raped. You know what I mean? I mean, it happens. Don't get me wrong, but like the movies, they spiced it up. They make
Yeah,
it to
bro.
like bigger than what it really is. You know, people
Us.
do die. When I was there, people died. People get stabbed. People commit suicide. Things do happen. It does. But I
Hmm.
feel Hollywood, they just spice it up a little more than what it really is.
Listen, Hollywood spicing it up worked with me because I'm terrified. I was like, I feel like if I go in jail, instant butt fuck. I I'm not that strong. I'm just saying. I could fight, but there's gonna come a point I'm gonna be tired, and yeah, I'm done. So that's why I'm like, yo, I tippy toe. So your life is interesting, right? Because now you flipped it, and you're only 25, right?
Yes, sir.
And you have more wisdom than I do, and then Jay put together, plus more. I feel you've lived life a lot harder and more deeper than we have, right? So when is the first time that you were gangbanging, right?
Right.
When's the first time that you go into that? Like, how old are you?
I was 12 and a half years old. I hit the streets around 11 or 12.
Damn, that's so young.
Um, and when I say the streets, I mean like I was out there, like the streets. Like I started gangbanging when I was 12 and a half years old. And I got jumped into my gang 13 years old. And from there on, man, I was just going buck wild, man. You name it. I pretty much did it. Just running amok and not giving a fuck.
Why do they have to do the jumping in thing? Why do they have to beat someone up to put them into it?
I can't speak for everybody and every gang and all that, but from where I'm from and our culture, like that's just it's I guess history. It's just how
It's traditional.
exactly.
Probably want to see how tough you are too, right?
And
Yeah, it's
Like
like
a
a
beating.
would they beat you to the point where you can't move, or is it just like a beating? Like I'm gonna beat you up, but I'm not gonna kill you or
yeah,
put you to a
yeah,
point.
man. It's kind of like, man, I don't like how can I put it like say like you got two big brothers
Okay,
and sometimes you want to test each other or see where where your little brother's at
I got you.
and give a little bit of tough love,
I can
something
understand that.
like that, I
Yeah,
guess. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Okay.
yeah, just to see where you're at, something like that, I guess.
When you're 12 and you get into this, like, what do your parents? What do they? Are your parents around? Like, they're not around. Who were you
Nah,
living with?
at that time, I was living with my brother. He's from Compton. Shout out to him. I love you. Things weren't working out. I grew up in the system too, of foster homes and group homes.
Mm,
But at that time, I was staying with my brother. Things didn't really work out between me and him. I do appreciate everything he did, including his wife. But we bumped heads a lot,
yeah.
and I wasn't completely happy right there. Uh, so I hit the streets, man. And where my parents at that time, my mom was in another state. My dad, he was, I believe, still in prison. My mom and dad were gang members too,
Oh
in and out of
wow.
prison, doing drugs, all that. So they were never really in my life. As far as now, they are in my life now. We have great relationships. I love them. I forgive them, and just moving forward, man.
They're
That's all that
still in the
matters,
gang
man.
now, or no? Or it's
Who?
just your parents.
No, they're past that. They're thank God, shoot. They're just living life now, enjoying it, and they're good grandparents, taking care of the grandkids. So yeah.
That's good, man. Do you think that if you were in a different situation when you were younger, that you may have ended up somewhere else. Like, let's say your brother lived in a different area.
I mean, of course.
Definitely. I would have to say, and maybe if they would have kept me in sports and all that. I mean, my brother, he did everything he can, man.
Yeah.
I give him that. But if you want to go back a little further more, I would have to say, to be honest with you guys, probably just have my parents there, man. Especially to keep it 100, my father there, man. As a male figure, like, and a role model, and just a man to tell me, hey, son, you ain't
Damn,
don't
that's
do
true.
that. And gets me thinking about my kids, like, I gotta continue to still be with it. But yeah, just probably definitely my parents more at an earlier age, more of their support and their guidance. I think would have went a long ways, man.
So, in order for us as a whole, now I'm talking about everyone in America, the world, whatever, to change any criminal in the street, any killer, any person in the street that's doing all these horrible things, it all starts in the root with the parenting. That's what you're saying, basically, right?
Yeah.
So it's the
I
parents,
agree.
right?
I agree. I agree.
So how do you change that? And now it changes with you because it gets passed down, right? So I didn't have a perfect parenting. My parents weren't that perfect either. Nobody has perfect parents, and especially back then, it was a lot different too. A lot of parents, especially Hispanic. I'm Hispanic. We're all Hispanic here. Hispanic culture, they tend to raise their kids a little different, especially the old school. They're not as,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You already know. You're smiling. I haven't even said it yet, but
Yeah.
there's a little culture there that's different. Like, they'll hit you for anything. You know what I mean?
Hey, that's first thing that pops in mind, getting our ass whooped.
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
got my
Are
ass
we
whooped a
allowed to
lot.
cuss on here?
Huh?
Yeah, yeah,
Are
yeah.
we allowed to cuss? All right, cool.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I got my ass whooped so many times. My dad had his belt hanging ready for me for anything. He said, mira.
Yup.
And the chancleta, got hit with the chancleta a bunch of times. So that type of parenting, I think, affected us all because that's
Definitely.
fear-based parenting.
And plus, it's violence. You get me?
So how do you switch that? Now you
You know,
can't do that now. That's basically it.
I feel that's a very, very important subject and topic to talk about because what Jay, right?
Yeah.
What he just said, violence. I'm gonna share a story with you guys real quick. When I was younger, as a kid, I'm not gonna say who, but it was a family member, and I remember that person. She was whipping me, but really hard. I think it was with the bow, with the hand, one or the other. And I was so tired of it, so hurt, because that shit did hurt, and sick of it. I was crying, I remember. And I just remember I just started punching her back, doing everything I can to defend myself. So I'm so sick of it. And I remember she stepped back and looked at me like, dang, he's trying to fight, he's fighting back. But the reason why I bring this up, and I feel it's an important subject to even talk about, is because I feel like that violent behavior, that violent ways, I feel like it's carried on with me, man. And until now,
Yes.
I feel like I have that violent, I will always have it, I feel, and it's always been like my first thing, like a snapping at people, fighting, whatever, man. And I just feel like being violent with your kid, not violentness, but just being aggressive and all that.
Yeah.
I feel it's not always the way to do it, man. There's other ways, and it can definitely affect your child and children long term. I feel so.
Yeah, I
you
feel what you're
wise,
saying,
man.
man. Because when I was younger, I always had a lot of, I always got hit a lot, and I tend to like with my kids. I got two kids, and I just get upset. You get me? Like this not of anger, but it's just like I try to stop myself, and I notice like, yo, it's crazy how it just passes on towards you.
It's called displaced anger.
Yo, it's crazy. So it's like I don't want to be like that. I don't want to do that. You get me? So I just it's like you gotta work on yourself like every single day, bro. Just keep on working on yourself.
When my daughter was younger, I saw myself doing the same thing. My daughter's 9 now. I saw myself getting so angry because I had all this pent up anger from my parenting, my father hitting me. He hit me for everything, for every little thing. And I got so angry. I mean, I still have scars to this day from when I was a kid, you know? So I get so angry at my daughter, and I would think to myself, like, damn, I have this urge to, like, hit her, to correct her. And I got away from that. I started meditating. I meditate. I do transcendental meditation. I've been doing this for so long. I control my anger. I have problems, anger problems, and that leads to a messed up decision making process. Like you rationality is out the window.
Yeah, you snap. You get me?
Snap.
That shit could cost you freedom, basically.
It could cause your life.
I agree with both of you guys because, hey, same thing, man. I've gotten close to my children too, man. And the mother of my children, she's like, hey, man, check yourself, relax. Like, but again, I feel it's well, we both, and look, we all have that, it's carried on with us.
Yes. I'm happy to say I have not hit my daughter. I think one time I hit her like a spank.
Right.
I stopped that because I don't want her to do it to her children. This is how we switch it.
Right.
Yeah.
If we don't do it, it's us.
Right.
Then
I
we're
agree.
putting the responsibility on our children to try to see if they could flip it.
That's
what
true.
I mean? We got to start now. That's the process right there. So that's why I was so intrigued with you, because even though we didn't go to the same path, right? But
Right.
I'm from Brooklyn originally. Okay, so
Okay.
I had some crazy little shady past, but nothing like you, right? So,
Right.
but we come from a culture that's very similar. You see?
Right.
And when I see someone changing that, I find it immensely like admirable. I love it. I love watching that. And I think the first thing people notice about you is your tattoos, right?
Yeah.
Do you see people looking at you when you're outside? Because they
Yeah,
probably do it
man.
like quiet, right?
Yeah. I know, especially going to the gym. I've been noticing that a lot lately.
It's on your face. It's still not common. It's
Yeah.
more common than before, but it attracts the eyes, and so people will see it. I mean, if I saw you,
people-
I would look,
yeah.
but then
And
I'll
people
look
judge
away.
though. People judge too without even knowing right off the bat. You feel me?
Well,
So
Def-
every movie we've ever seen, every TV show we've ever seen, tattoos in the face, that's a horrible criminal, no? And maybe there's some truth to it, because at one point Moses wasn't the best guy in the world, right?
yeah.
But
Right.
it makes it difficult for you to change, right? Because you could change inside, but the outside still looks like the old Moses, right?
Yeah, definitely. That's correct. To be honest with you, I have mixed emotions about it. I've even thought about getting all this laserly removed.
I wanted to ask you that if you regretted getting those, because it's so permanent and it leaves you with a costume on.
Yeah, man. It's definitely crossed my mind. Again, I have mixed emotions about it. Like I feel, like especially if I get older, my skin starts to sag and all
Yeah.
that, and But not only that, I also feel like it is who I am. But like again, I'm trying to lead by example and continue to be a leader and be the role model. It's crossed my mind though. Definitely.
This is you in the future. If you don't want to get it off, you could just do this, and your grandchildren will be like, Grandpa Moses, why do you always have long hair and a beard? And you're like, no, nothing, my child. Don't worry about it.
Right. No, yeah, definitely.
No, but
And
yeah.
you know what? That's true. That's true though. Real quick, my kids, man. I know they're gonna be looking. Why my son? I don't want him to think it's cool or
Yeah.
Nah, man. Fuck that, dude.
Would you be angry
I
if your child gets a tattoo
Face-
of any
face-
sort? No, not a face tattoo, but just any tattoo.
Once he's 18, if he wants to make that decision,
You're alright with it?
not, like you said, not on the face, and then like
Yeah. Like
I
a
mean,
regular
I
in the body. I'm alright with that too, by the way.
yeah, I ain't, cause I do love tattoos. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I do itch to get that needle and ink.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, and but as far as like the face and all that, nah, I wouldn't recommend that, man. For anybody,
Yo-
really.
What do you feel about like hip hop, how it is now? How all these rappers are coming out with face tattoos, like crazy ass tattoos all over the face.
Yeah, some guy put a Pikachu here. Have you seen him?
Like,
Here, let me show you. No, I don't have the picture anymore. But he put a Pikachu all across 1/4 of his entire head, and he outlined it, and then he decided to continue and fill it in.
I don't know. I don't like.
I say if you go with a face
to
tattoo,
me,
go
to me,
scary.
in my opinion, I think it's just weird. Not only weird, but like, I mean, that's their thing. That's what they want to do. But I think I don't know if it's for the image or trying to look cool or what. I don't know what it is, or it's a trend right now. Uh, I don't know, man. I mean, if that's what they want to do, I just personally I don't really like too much of the new stuff, the new music.
Yeah, me either.
I'm more of an old school type of guy.
Yep.
I like meaning and the lyrics. Like I like stuff I can relate to. Some of it is good. Don't get me wrong, but
The beat,
um,
but the lyrics are shit.
like especially with like the colored hair and all that. I don't know about that, man.
You don't like
That's
Takashi?
just not my style. Yeah,
He got the whole rainbow going on, the Skittle pack.
yeah, man. That's not my. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
Takashi.
not my cup of tea.
Hey, it's not my cup of tea. It's not my cup of anything. I don't like that.
For real.
So, do you drink alcohol or do you keep off of it? Like, I don't know if you used to drink before or not, but I'm just saying maybe you keep away from these things because you work out so much.
To keep it 100, I do drink occasionally, not
Okay.
all the time. I
Socially.
don't do drugs. I've been sober off of drugs probably for about like 5, 6 years, like a long time already.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't even cross my mind. As far as doing drugs, I nothing ever heavy, but like smoking weed. I mean, I don't. People are using it now for like medical purposes, but you know, other things like pills and all that, I don't. But occasionally, I may drink a beer too. But I do my best to take care of my body, especially because I'm thinking about long term wise, you know. And it's my business, not only a business, but
No, yeah, it's
I
true.
gotta keep going for all of us, you know. I gotta keep representing for all of us. So
You're in good
gotta
shape
be in
too,
tip
bro.
top shape.
I see you as a coach, like on YouTube and outside of YouTube. I see you making even a video. You know, you ever seen these Beachbody coaches that they do
Yeah.
Like Sean T? So I see you doing that, but prison style. Stick to the prison style because it is very effective. First of all, it's very difficult. People like difficult, and it also has a story attached to it too. At the same time, you know. So you know how you say you might end up removing your face tattoos. At the end of the day, they might be beneficial for you. You know, most people wouldn't say that, but it might because of the
Right,
image, and you'll stand out. I'm just being real. We keep it real over here. You know, most
right,
people will be like,
right.
"Oh, you should take it off." I'm just saying it might even benefit you and make you different.
Yeah, he's right. He's
Yeah,
right.
Right,
they'd be like, "Oh shit, have
right.
you seen Moses Cuevas? Yo, he was in jail. Now he's working out. Oh, jail workouts. Yo, I'm gonna do this shit because you know everybody wants to experience something that they
Right.
can't experience firsthand. So I think you should stick to it. You're definitely a motivation to me. Um, I can only do a little bit of burpees. When I saw your
Some
video, man, I was so embarrassed of myself.
Something's always better than nothing, though, you know. And I feel the main thing is, key thing is, and from what I've learned, is just consistency. And it's not just with working out; it's with everything in life.
Yeah,
Just being consistent. Just like with you guys' show, consistency. I'm sure, and you guys we're all gonna grow.
yeah.
You know, it just takes time. We can't get it overnight. And there's gonna be days when we get discouraged. There's gonna be adversity and all that, man. But we just gotta keep going, man. Stay consistent, just persevere. So,
I'm gonna ask you two questions to kind of wrap this up real quickly. What is your greatest regret?
um, man, dog, that's kind of personal. But I would have to say, to be honest, the relationship with the mother of my children. You know, making some mistakes with her,
Yeah,
and that kind of cost some things. But again, I don't really see it as a regret, but something I feel I could have just done better. Um, because I feel without that happening, I wouldn't be here today. And I'm not really ashamed of who I am. Like I feel like God made me this way, and this is what He wants for me and us.
yeah.
I'm all for it. And I just want to know that when I die, my day comes, that I gave it my everything for everybody, my children, our people, and for myself.
You and your and the mother of your children, you guys are not together, right?
No.
So does that scare you though? Because you think of your parenting. It would scare me, because I would think of like if my parents were separate, right? You said they weren't around. then I would make an extra effort to kind of be there because I'm separate. Is that what's going on with you?
Yeah, that it's very that see all that comes into play. Like I'm not seeing my kids as often. I'm not there 24/7 like I was and we were
Mm-hmm.
all together as a family. And like my that's another fear of mine. Like just for them to feel what I felt as a child, not having parents.
That's what I would
And
think.
I don't want them to feel that, man. I don't, because I love them to death, man, and I feel like they're the greatest blessings that I've received, and I just don't want them to feel that, man. It's just not a good feeling.
Yeah. That question was a bit of a downer. So the next question, you're gonna shoot straight up, boy. What's your greatest accomplishment? The thing you're the most proud of besides your children? I know you're very proud of your children. But besides that, personally, what's the greatest thing you've ever done? I told you I was gonna shoot your ass right up.
I know. For real, like I'm proud to say this, but I've saved and I'm saving lives, and I say that with like confidence, and I'm proud of myself, man. Cause you guys, I get messages like I think yesterday, a young man, he was thinking about committing suicide, and he's going to a mechanic school, and he told me this, like, I look at you as a father figure.
Damn.
That's just one person. I get multiple messages now on the daily saying that I motivate and inspire. But I shared the story also. I remember a guy, he had a 38 or 380 to his head, he said, and he was thinking about taking his life away. And he said he came across one of my videos, and he said, he thought twice and took the gun off and all that.
Yes, that's
Moses, this is, I mean, if I read that, Moses, I would cry. I mean, I'm getting teary right now just thinking about it.
Yeah, man. So my greatest accomplishment is that, but I feel there's much more work to be done. I'm just getting started. So, but definitely, because as a young man, I've always wanted to help out, give back somehow, some way, and I've exceeded my expectations already. But it's just the beginning, though, for all of us, man. We're just getting started.
So this is Moses Cuevas. He has a YouTube channel where he works out and he gives positive information and messages for all of you guys. He's even covered suicide in one of his videos. You should go check it out. He may not know this, and I don't know you personally, but I'm actually proud of you myself. I like seeing people succeed in life. So anyone who's watching this, who's interested in checking out Moses Cueva, I highly suggest that you check out this person, because if you're going through anything horrible in your life, anything down or anything, you have to see this. This is a man who's gone through horrible things in his life and has overcome it all. So his link to his channel will be in the description section below. But thank you, though, and I really do appreciate and I admire what you're doing. Really do. I really mean that. I'm not just saying that.
It's an honor, and thank you, and I look forward to doing more work with you guys.
I look forward to having you more often. You have Skype on your computer, so you could come on and whatever.
Yeah.
The door's open for you, my brother.
If you guys ever need anything too, I don't got much, but I'm here too to support in any way.
Hey, thank you, brother. You know what? You just being on here, that's support enough, and you're doing enough for everybody else. It's all good, man. We wanted to highlight. I'm very proud of you for being, I know it sounds messed up, but for being Hispanic too, because I'm Hispanic, and we gotta help each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely, man.
And because we got it hard enough, especially these times. You feel me? It's getting harder for us. So the more we overcome our problems,
with the government, huh?
That's what I mean. So the more we overcome all these things and help each other, we can empower each other. You feel me?
Definitely.
All right. Now I can show people a picture of you and say, "Yo, I know this guy."
Hell yeah.
They'll be like, "What? You know this guy?" I was like, "Yeah, I know these guys. Don't fuck with me." I'll tell people. I'll be honest with you. If I saw you in the store, I would be a bit intimidated. But that's because I'm a bitch a little bit, but